Gonna be okay. We'll get through this. I'm so sorry. Hello, good morning or good evening. Whenever you are watching this, I hope you are doing well. My name is Catherine, and today I'm unhauling some books. So as you can maybe see behind me, my bookshelves have become a little bit of a disaster zone. I recently counted, I have over 300 books, which I always say you can never have too many books, but like right now, because I'm not in love with all of these, I feel like that might be a little too many. I am getting a new bookshelf tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. It's gonna go right there. But before I get that new bookshelf and rearrange everything, I want to make sure that all the books that I do have on my shelf are ones that I actually love and want to keep and hold on to, or books that I am planning on reading in the very near future. So today I am going to be doing the UNHAUL challenge. This challenge was created quite a while ago, but I definitely need a little bit of the challenge right now because I get very sentimental and attached to things. The idea of this challenge is there are like 10 prompts. You will hopefully be able to find a book for each of the prompts, so therefore you'll be getting rid of at least 10 books. Yeah, I'm either going to do really great with this or really terrible because I do get really attached to my books and I'll be like, oh, well, I may not have loved it, but I have these like memories of it. Or I'll be like, oh, but this looks really good on my bookshelf. Which I just, no. Anyway, we're going to try and hopefully rectify this problem today. All right, our first prompt or category is a book you rated low. Don't rate a lot of books very low because I'm a very easy rater. You know, I will say on one hand I did rate Blood and Honey really low, but I really liked Serpent and Dove, and so I want to read the third book and I don't want to get rid of the second book if I end up really liking the third book and just have the first and third. That'd be weird. Oh, fine. I did not like this book. I probably have no intention of reading the rest of the books in the series. Shadow of the Fox, Julie Kagawa. Yeah, I'm interested in reading Julie Kagawa's other books, but I have no interest in continuing this series. So, and I rated it like 2 stars. A book you changed your mind about. There's definitely a couple where I really liked them in the past, so I will be getting rid of Old Magic by Marianne Curley. This book I recently reread. I read it back in like middle school and then I reread it recently and it did not hold up to my memories of it in middle school. So I think it's time to part with it. A series you won't be completing. I have a problem with completing series, especially if I like read the first book when it just comes out. Oh, this is so hard because I feel like once I start a series, I want to complete it. It kind of kills me to do this because first of all, these books are gorgeous. And also this is like an Cray exclusive edition. It's signed. Same with the Shadow of the Fox. But I liked the first book a lot. And then the second book, I just was getting so annoyed with the characters, and I was annoyed with the characters in this one as well, but I was getting so annoyed with the characters in the second book that I don't see myself ever actually finishing it. It's a really cool concept, but there's just certain like themes and things in this series that I don't really like, and I feel like maybe someone else will like it more. So I think it's time to finally, oh, this kills me. Ugh, but they're so pretty. See, this is my problem, is if books are really pretty, I don't want to part with them. You know what? I bet I can find a good home for these two. Watch me in like a week have these back on my shelf because I'm terrible at getting rid of anything. A book you DNF'd. Well, if you are not new here, you probably know that I am terrible at DNFing books. I don't actually remember the last time I DNF'd a book. Literally none of these. Maybe a book I felt like I should have DNF'd. Let's go with that. What was a book that I thought maybe? I did kind of think about DNFing The Gilded Wolves. However, I feel like I want to give this book a second chance. I don't think I gave it a fair chance the first time I read it because I had just read Six of Crows, and these books are very similar, just in terms of like there's a heist, it's a bunch of like misfits kind of coming together, and I felt like they were so similar that I didn't give this one a fair shot. I was like comparing them a little too much. I'm not gonna get rid of this. That was a long way of saying I'm not getting rid of that book. Unfortunately, I don't have any for that prompt, but I did get rid of 2 for the last one, so I think that makes up for it. A book you have multiple copies of. No. I don't have any books that I have multiple copies of that I didn't like purposefully buy multiple copies of, because normally when I have like multiple copies, it's like one's a special edition and one is signed, and I'm not going to get rid of one of my special editioned or signed books. Like, okay, I have 2 copies of Legendborn. Both are signed. Fine. Let's look at what I have multiple copies of. I have multiple copies of the Lunar Chronicles. Those are like my favorite books. I'm not getting rid of one of those. I have many copies of the Cruel Prince books. I'm not getting rid of any of those. I do have like an ARC and a completed copy of the Bone Houses, but I'm not gonna get rid of an ARC. Like, I want to keep that. Unfortunately, I'm not doing great right now. A book you'll never actually get to. This one, I feel like I can do. I feel like for this one, we can roll out the cart. I have read none of these books. I'm not getting rid of any of these All Cray books because I am planning on getting to all of those. I feel like if I were to get rid of any, it would be like one of these. Most of these I got at like a used bookstore for $1. I do actually have the audiobook for this one saved to my library right now, so I'm not gonna get rid of that. Feel like I now have to like read the description because I don't know what any of these books are about. Well, this sounds like a cool like magical historical fiction type deal, so I'm not gonna get rid of that. We Were Never Here. This is like a sick fic, isn't it? About this guy who brings his dog to comfort people in the hospital. Wait, that sounds really cute. I don't want to get rid of that. The Disappearance of Sloane Sullivan. This one I feel like maybe, as a not really a thriller or mystery fan, I feel like this one. Bye. Moving on. A book you bought because of the hype. You mean like 90% of my bookshelf? A lot of books I bought because of the hype, but I ended up liking them. So I know a lot of people love the Caraval series. I don't. I somehow got like both I somehow ended up getting the arcs for the second and the third book. I don't know how. I like won them off of, I know how. I won them off of Goodreads. I'm not that cool. This might be one of those books that I, again, am just keeping on my bookshelf because it looks cool. And I do have quite a few books that are like kind of circusy carnival themed, like Night Circus and Ace of Shades and now Where Dreams Descend. And I feel like it looks really good amongst those. And I've thought about buying the other 2 books. I was like, well, if I see them at a thrift store and they're on like, if they're cheap, I'll buy the other 2 books, the other 2 hardcovers. And I never have. And I feel like I should just get rid of these books. But I don't want to. See, this is the struggle, is I feel like it just looks so good on my shelf. And also, I like being a part of the hype. And do these books still bring me joy? No. A book you bought because of the cover. I feel like this is like calling me out and I feel really attacked right now. Again, so many of these books I bought because I thought the cover was pretty, but you know what? I'm supporting graphic artists. A book because of the cover. Not Strange the Dreamer. The American cover of Strange the Dreamer is so ugly. Oh, okay. Yeah. The Music of What Happens. This book I 100% bought because of the cover. Like, look at the colors of this cover. It is so pretty. I love the design. I love the like finish of it too, where it's like that sort of like matte papery finish versus the normal like glossy finish. Unfortunately, I ended up not really liking it, which is really sad. I have to say, a lot of the books that I am getting rid of are ones that I did buy at like full price from like Barnes & Noble a few years ago before I like really started shopping at thrift books or thrift stores. I thrifted, but you know what I mean. So I think that's another reason why I don't like getting rid of my books, is because I'm like, well, I spent all this money on it. A book you don't know anything about. Well, a lot. Especially like fantasies, I don't really like going into the books knowing too much about them. I like being surprised. I mean, I could go with one of those books that I just had to read the cover of. I don't know anything about this book, but I did just get it. When Sarah meets Eddie, they connect instantly and fall deeply in love. Oh, she gets ghosted. Oh, he's keeping secrets and that's why he ghosts her. But it's about the joy that comes from utterly opening your heart. I don't want to get rid of that. I want to know about the joy of opening up your heart. I am tempted to get rid of Another Day by David Levithan. I don't really know what this one is about. I bought it because, again, it was $1 and I heard people like David Levithan. But now I've read like a couple of his like, what was it? He wrote something with John Green, Will Grayson. That was David Levithan, right? And then I read another short story, and I didn't really like either of his chapters in those. So I don't know if I'm gonna like a full book of his, but I want to give him like one more chance, because those were like collaborations and things. So I want to like read something that is actually his. Why is this so difficult? I don't really have a book that fits this prompt. So, a book you didn't buy. Well, I bought most of my books, so I wish more people gifted me books. That'd be cool, but unfortunately, I buy all my own books. What even is this book? It's The Haunting of Hill House. I think I got this as like a second book in an Cray box. This is a horror book. I'm not gonna read a horror book. Technically, I didn't buy this one because it came as a second book in an Cray book box thing, whatever. So I feel like this counts. Okay, there we go. I did all of the prompts. Let's see what I'm getting rid of. Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. Old Magic by Marianne Curley. Girls of Paper and Fire and Girls of Storm and Shadow by Natasha Nyang. The Music of What Happens by Bill Coensberg. The Disappearance of Sloane Sullivan by Gia Cribbs. Caraval Legendary and Finale by Stephanie Garber. The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Well, there we go. I didn't complete every single prompt, but I did actually manage to get rid of 10 books, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, just kidding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10. There's not as much space as I hoped would happen. Also, try and convince me to keep 1 or 2 of these, if you so choose. Also, like, if you do love these books, that is awesome. Like, love the books that you love. Don't feel pressured to like something just because someone else does, and also don't feel pressured to not like something just because someone else doesn't. As you can probably see, I have some unpopular opinions about books. Serpent and Dove. I know. I love it. Leave me alone. And that is a-okay. You don't have to like what everyone else is liking. You also don't have to not like what everyone else is not liking. These books just don't really vibe with me, and I am happy to pass them on to someone who may enjoy them a lot more than myself. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, and especially if you want to see me reorganize my bookshelf with my new bookcase that's coming in, Be sure to hit subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and until next time, bye! Look, I'm actually remembering to take a thumbnail.